The 2020-21 Scottish Premiership is the 8th season of the Scottish Premiership, the highest division of Scottish football. The fixtures were published on 6 July 2020, with the season beginning on 1 August. Following Scottish Government approval due to the COVID-19 pandemic in Scotland, Celtic were the defending champions. On 7 March, Rangers clinched the Premiership title, their 55th Scottish Championship, after Celtic drew 0-0 away to Dundee United. 12 teams are contesting the league: Aberdeen, Celtic, Dundee United, Hamilton Academical, Hibernian, Kilmarnock, Livingston, Motherwell, Rangers, Ross County, St Johnstone and St Mirren. The following teams changed division after the 2019-20 season. Promoted from the Championship, relegated to the Championship in the initial phase of the season. The 12 teams will play a round-robin tournament whereby each team plays each one of the other teams 3 times. After 33 games, the league splits into 2 sections of 6 teams, with each team playing each other in that section. The league attempts to balance the fixture list so that teams in the same section play each other twice at home and twice away. But sometimes this is impossible. A total of 228 matches will be played, with 38 matches played by each team. After the 12 Premiership clubs were given permission to restart full contact training by the Scottish Government from 29 June 2020, it was announced that an Aberdeen player had tested positive for COVID-19 2 days later. The identity of the player was not disclosed, but the club said that he was asymptomatic and self-isolating. 9 days prior to the start of the season on 1 August, it was reported on 23 July that 7 members of St Mirren's coaching staff had tested positive. As a result, a pre-season friendly between St Mirren and St Johnstone on 25 July was cancelled, and Hamilton Academical, who had played St Mirren in a friendly on 18 July, confirmed that all of their players and coaching staff had subsequently tested negative. The following day, St Mirren announced that after the 7 positive tests were retested, only 1 came back as positive with the other 6 negative. On the opening day of the season, Rangers defeated Aberdeen 1-0 at Pittodrie Stadium, and after the game, 8 members of the Aberdeen squad went out to a pub in the city. Later in the week, the pub was linked to an outbreak of coronavirus cases in Aberdeen, which led to a lockdown of the city. 2 of the group subsequently tested positive for COVID-19 and the 8 players were put into self-isolation. Initially, the Scottish Government said Aberdeen's match against St Johnstone, scheduled for 8 August, wouldn't be affected by the lockdown of the city, but the match was postponed after First Minister Nicola Sturgeon said she was pretty furious about the situation. Aberdeen manager Derek McInnes was critical of the group of players, namely Bruce Anderson, Craig Bryson, Sam Cosgrove, Michael Devlin, Johnny Hayes, Matty Kennedy, Dylan McGeouch and Scott McKenna, who apologized for a huge error of judgment. The following weekend, defending champions Celtic drew 1-1 with Kilmarnock at Rugby Park on 9 August. Defender Boli Bolingoli was in the Celtic match squad and came off the bench during the match, but was found to have travelled back from Spain a few days earlier. At that time, a 14-day quarantine was required for anyone travelling to Scotland from that country. Celtic manager Neil Lennon said Bolingoli went rogue, and the club were unaware of his actions. Before it came to light on 10 August, Kilmarnock manager Alex Dyer revealed that Celtic had apologised for the situation. Bolingoli was subsequently fined £480 by the police for his breach of quarantine rules. First Minister Nicola Sturgeon warned Scottish football clubs, players and authorities that the breaches of COVID-19 protocols set up to allow football to resume in Scotland had resulted in her giving the game a yellow card, and that further breaches could lead to a pause in the football season. Aberdeen and Celtic's matches against Hamilton Academical and St Mirren respectively on 12 August were postponed as a result of the two incidents, as well as the Celtic vs Aberdeen match on 15 August. The Scottish Football Association and Scottish Professional Football League introduced new rules following the breaches of COVID-19 rules, which meant Bolingoli and the Aberdeen 8 were charged by both governing bodies. An SFA hearing was held on 28 August, which resulted in a 3-match ban with a further 2-match ban suspended for Bolingoli. The Aberdeen 8 were each given a 3-match suspended ban. The suspended bans would be triggered if a player was again charged with bringing the game into disrepute before 28 February 2021. 3 fixtures during the autumn were postponed after Kilmarnock and St Mirren told the SPFL that they could not fulfil them as scheduled due to COVID-19 outbreaks. The SPFL initially